A cargo plane fires a 105mm howitzer out of its left side, mid-flight, sustained, on target, in the dark. Behind that howitzer, 7 soldiers. This is how the AC-130J Ghostrider crew turns a transport aircraft into the deadliest gunship on Earth. The crew of 7, who does what the AC-130J Ghostrider flies with a 7-person crew. Every person has a specific job. Every job matters. Lose one crew member and the mission fails. Start in the cockpit. 2 pilots, pilot and co-pilot. They fly the aircraft. But flying a gunship isn't like flying a cargo plane. The AC-130 fights by orbiting the target in a left-hand bank, a pylon turn. The pilots hold the aircraft in a continuous banking circle while the weapons fire out the left side. That means flying at low altitude, at night, often under fire, maintaining a perfect orbit for hours. Behind the pilots sits the Combat Systems Officer, CSO. This is the mission commander. The CSO coordinates everything: target selection, weapons employment, clearance to fire. The CSO talks to ground forces, receives target coordinates, and makes the final call on every shot. In the back of the aircraft, 2 sensor operators and 2 aerial gunners. The sensor operators control the cameras and targeting sensors. They identify targets, track movement, feed video to the CSO and pilots, and guide weapons onto target. Without the sensor operators, the crew is blind. The aerial gunners physically operate the weapons. They load ammunition. They fire the guns. They maintain the weapons systems during flight. When the 105 howitzer fires, the aerial gunners are the ones feeding shells into the breech, managing recoil, and keeping the gun operational through hundreds of rounds. 7 people, 1 mission, close air support for ground forces. The cockpit workflow, from briefing to weapons release, every AC-130 mission starts with a briefing. The crew reviews intelligence, target areas, friendly force locations, rules of engagement, threat assessment, what kind of anti-aircraft fire they might face. Then they launch. The AC-130J takes off from Hurlburt Field, Florida, home of the 4th Special Operations Squadron. If deployed, they launch from forward bases in the Middle East or Africa. Flight time to the target area can be several hours. The crew uses that time to prepare. Once they reach the target area, the workflow becomes systematic. Ground forces call for support. The CSO receives the call. The sensor operators locate the target using infrared cameras and multispectral sensors. They confirm friendly positions. They verify the target is hostile. The CSO decides which weapon to use. The 30mm Gao 23 Bushmaster cannon for light vehicles or small groups of personnel. The 105mm howitzer for hardened structures, bunkers, or large targets. Jibu 39 small diameter bombs when precision is required and collateral damage must be minimized. The decision tree is constant. Is the target confirmed hostile? Are friendlies clear? What weapon minimizes collateral damage? Do we have clearance to fire? Only after all those questions are answered does the CSO authorize weapons release. The sensor operators lock the target. The aerial gunners prepare to fire. The pilots hold the orbit steady. And the weapon engages. This workflow repeats dozens of times per mission, sometimes targeting the same location multiple times, sometimes shifting between targets across a wide area. Always under time pressure, always with friendly forces depending on precision. The 105mm howitzer crew, firing artillery, in flight the 105mm M102 howitzer is the AC-130's signature weapon. It's a ground artillery piece designed to be towed behind a truck and fired from a stationary position. The Air Force took that gun and mounted it inside a flying aircraft. The howitzer sits on the left side of the cargo bay, pointed out the open cargo door. It's secured to the aircraft structure with a complex recoil absorption system. Because when the gun fires, the recoil force exceeds 20,000 pounds. That's enough to damage the airframe if not properly managed. 2 aerial gunners operate the howitzer. One loads the shells. One manages the fire control system that links the gun to the aircraft's targeting computers. The shells weigh over 30 pounds each. Each round is manually loaded into the breech. The gunner slams the breech closed. The fire control computer calculates the precise angle and timing. And the gun fires. The recoil is violent. The entire gun assembly slides backward on its mount, absorbing the force. The shell exits the barrel at over 1,500 feet per second. And 3 seconds later, the target explodes. The gunners immediately reload. Open the breech. Clear the spent casing. Load the next shell. Close the breech. Fire. The maximum rate of fire is 10 rounds per minute. That's 1 round every 6 seconds. And the gunners can sustain this for as long as ammunition lasts. The 105 doesn't just damage targets, it destroys them. Bunkers, fortified buildings, armored vehicles, ammunition depots. The high explosive shells penetrate structures and detonate inside. Nothing survives a direct hit from a 105, and the aerial gunners do this while standing in the back of an aircraft banking at 30 degrees, at night, under fire, for hours. The sensor suite, turning video into a kill chain, the AC-130J's sensor suite, is what makes it a precision weapon. The AN-AC-39 multispectral targeting system combines infrared cameras, television cameras, and laser rangefinders into a single integrated package. It's mounted in a turret under the aircraft's nose. The sensor operators control this system. They can zoom in on targets from miles away. They can track vehicles moving at high speed. They can identify individuals on the ground and distinguish between armed combatants and civilians. The infrared cameras see heat signatures, vehicles, weapons, people, even through smoke and dust. The television cameras provide daylight imagery. The laser rangefinder measures exact distance to target, critical for accurate fire. All of this sensor data feeds into the fire control computer. The computer knows the aircraft's altitude, airspeed, bank angle, and position. It knows the target's coordinates. It calculates the ballistic trajectory for each weapon. And it tells the gunners exactly when to fire. The AC-130 also carries the AL-231 Intrepid Tiger electronic warfare pod. This system detects incoming threats, radar-guided missiles, infrared missiles, anti-aircraft artillery. It automatically deploys countermeasures, chaff and flares to defeat the threats. Because the AC-130 operates at low altitude over hostile territory. It's vulnerable. The sensor suite and defensive systems are what keep the crew alive long enough to complete the mission. Real operations. What a 5-hour mission feels like Afghanistan. 2012. A US Army patrol is ambushed in a mountain valley. Taliban fighters have positions in buildings overlooking the patrol. The Americans are pinned down. They call for air support. An AC-130 crew is orbiting nearby. They receive the call. The CSO coordinates with the ground commander. The sensor operators locate the enemy positions. But there's a problem. The enemy fighters are less than 60 meters from the American patrol. One miscalculation and the AC-130 could kill friendly forces. The CSO selects the 40mm Bofors cannon, the most precise weapon. Low collateral damage. High accuracy. The sensor operators lock the target. The pilots hold the orbit. And the gun fires. Rounds impact within meters of the enemy position. The Taliban fighters cease fire. The American patrol escapes. No friendly casualties. Mission success. This is what AC-130 crews do, not in exercises, in combat, where mistakes kill people, where precision is measured in meters, where the crew must make life and death decisions dozens of times per mission. A typical mission lasts 5 to 6 hours. The crew is on station for most of that time, orbiting, watching, waiting for the call. When the call comes, they have minutes, sometimes seconds, to identify the threat, confirm the target, and engage. And they do this while under fire. Anti-aircraft artillery, Small arms fire. Rocket-propelled grenades. The AC-130 is a large, slow-moving target. Enemy forces know what it sounds like, they know what it looks like, and they shoot at it. The crew relies on altitude, darkness, and defensive systems to survive. But every mission carries risk, and every crew member knows it. The lineage, 60 years of side-firing doctrine, the AC-130J Ghostrider is the latest in a lineage that started 60 years ago. The concept: mount guns on the side of a cargo aircraft and use the aircraft's circular flight path to keep weapons on target. Vietnam War, 1965. The Air Force converted a Douglas C-47 cargo plane, World War II era, into the AC-47 Spooky gunship. They mounted three 7.62mm miniguns firing out the left side. It worked. The Spooky provided close air support for ground forces throughout the war. The Air Force scaled up. AC-130A Spectre, 1967. Larger aircraft, heavier weapons, 20mm cannons, 40mm Bofors, and the first 105 Howitzer mounted in an aircraft. Every variant since has followed the same doctrine. Side-firing weapons, left-hand orbit, low-altitude operations, crew coordination between pilots, sensors, and gunners. The AC-130J represents the culmination of 60 years of refinement. Modern sensors, digital fire control, precision-guided munitions. But the core mission remains unchanged: provide overwhelming firepower to troops in contact. The 4th Special Operations Squadron at Hurlburt Field operates the AC-130J fleet. They deploy worldwide, they train constantly, and they maintain the traditions built by every gunship crew since Vietnam. Why no other military fights this way, so why does the AC-130J crew work? Because no other military trains crews to fight this way. 7 people, 1 aircraft, continuous coordination under fire for hours, precision weapons employment within meters of friendly forces, and the willingness to fly low and slow over hostile territory to support troops who need help. The AC-130J Ghostrider isn't the stealthiest platform. It's not the fastest. But when ground forces are in contact and need firepower right now, this is the aircraft they call for. Because the crew will show up, the crew will stay, and the crew will deliver. Next video, we're covering the B-21 Raider, the bomber that will replace the B-2 Spirit. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Because the AC-130J proved something fundamental, sometimes the most devastating weapon isn't the one with the most advanced technology. It's the one with the best trained crew who can use that technology to win fights and save lives.